unbelievable for 3 to lose. They get a 2-point basket, you go to overtime.
Yep.
But you can't lose in that situation because the play before, if you look at it, Skip, Kemba Walker does an unbelievable play to break down the defense. And I didn't see it till the last second until he passed the ball. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then I see him pass the ball to Tice. Tice gets a dunk 0.5 seconds. I was like, well, this game's over.
Yep.
Because I know they got to take it out on the inbound, Skip. So as long as you don't get a guy getting something going, get a three-pointer going to the basket.
Yep.
But for Kyle Lowry to throw the ball over 7 foot, 7'5" is Taco Fall, 7'5", 7'6"?
8'4" wingspan.
As Kyle Lowry said, he's 7'12".
He is 7'12". Yep.
So, Skip, to throw a ball across the court over a man of his height and to throw it to OG and hit him in his pocket because he doesn't have a whole lot of time, Skip. He's got 0.5 seconds to get this shot up and into the basket. And for him to do that, it's unbelievable. I don't know if that might be, that I believe is more spectacular than the 0.4 second that Derek Fisher used to beat your Spurs. Because at least, Skip, he was right there just turn. But to throw the ball across the court, and if you look at it, you see OG running the baseline. And I don't know if it was Jaylen Brown, I don't know if it was Tice, but somebody had a miscommunication on that. Because there's no way, Skip, like I said, I'll give you, if you make a 2, at worst case, Skip, I go to overtime, we play 5 more minutes, we see what happens. Okay. But I cannot give you a 3 in that situation. It's really hard for me to say, did they lose or did they win? But it took an extraordinary play, so I'm going to tend to lean to the extraordinary play and say they won it as opposed to the Celtics losing it.
I take nothing away from the play because it was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot on both sides. The pass and the shot, it's a 1,000,000-to-1 that you're going to make.
Which was more difficult?
Well, the pass.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I fault the Celtics for allowing this to happen. If they play straight-up man-to-man defense, this cannot happen. They played...
Switching everything.
No, it's a zone. It's a zone concept.
Somebody come in here.
So Jason Tatum starts in his portion of the zone over on Anunoby in the far corner by the bench, over on the inbound side. And Anunoby, OG, runs the baseline. And Jason lets him run because he's in his zone. So he falls back looking for Van Vliet, okay? And now on the backside of the zone is Jaylen Brown. And he has to wonder, gee, do I shade Gasol? Because if you lob it to Gasol and he dunks it, you're going to overtime.
Correct.
So he shades, and at the last second, it's like, oh, bleep. He threw it completely over my head, and I got to run out and take a running leap at this, kind of like James Harden did on Dort, but he couldn't get there. And to your point, the pass it might be a 1,000,000,000-to-1 shot that you pull it off because you have 7'5" Taco Fall in front of you, and to pull off this pass... It's not like
Kyle Lowry is 7 foot tall.
No, he's 6 feet tall, and he has to cock the basketball behind his head with 2 hands. So he's throwing a 2-hand overhead pass, not a baseball pass. And as soon as Brad Stevens put Taco in, I said, the only way he's going to get this ball in bounce is to bounce it to the right or bounce it to the left. And I'm looking for bounce. Are you going to bounce it? And all of a sudden, he hauls off, 2-hand over-the-head pass and arches it over Taco, who was not exactly leaping. He was just, because the ref told him, you can't lean in, you just have to keep your arms straight up. But still, it's a deterrent, and Kyle Lowry throws it over the top of his outstretched arms, and to your point, it has to land perfectly into the ready, aim, fire position where OG is, he's like, my hands are right here because it's 0.5. It's not 0.4, but it's 0.5, and you better just touch it and shoot it. And he pulled it off. And he beat the clock, and it was fair and square. And he was ready to go. He was 2 for 4 from 3 at that point, so he's feeling pretty good about himself. And they flat out stole a game that felt like the whole game long, Boston was going to put them away. Right?
But Skip, as I'm looking at it, what is Tice doing? If it's a zone, why is he starting at the top? All he has to do is just front Gasol. Just make sure Gasol can't get the ball. Look at it. Look where he is. Okay, look at okay, he passed it off. Now see, where you going?
Okay.
If it's a zone, you take it. He took a man.
To me, it's too cute. You know, like it's too complex. It's more simple just to say, we all got a guy, and we're going to stick with our guy.
Right.
And Lowry admitted the play was designed to go to number 1, Siakam, or number 2, Van Vliet.
Right.
Well, okay, so you can't find them. And then out of pure desperation, you see your man OG way across the floor. And you can barely see him because of the roadblock in front of you that's 7 feet 5 inches tall.
Marc Gasol did a good job of picking Jaylen Brown also. But if Tice was where he was needed to be, so I'm going to put that on Tice. Okay, because Tice started chasing when he didn't have to.
Okay, but what if Jaylen Brown has OG man-to-man and he just runs with him? What happens?
Yeah, that play doesn't happen.
It's not going to work.
Right.
Now, maybe you get it to Van Vliet and he's got more of a turnaround open shot. I don't know.
Just don't give up a 3.
Yeah.
That's all. Like I said, I'll take your chances in overtime. But if you give up a 3, it's over.
But remember, it's a 2-point game. It's not like the proverbial 3-point lead where you have to just defend the 3-point line because they have to shoot a 3. They didn't have to shoot a 3. They could have shot, but 0.5, about all you could get is a lob dunk to Gasol.
Correct.
That's about it. On a 2-point, right?
I believe if Tice does not chase through, he stays where he is. So now we've deterred the lob to Gasol, and now he doesn't get the pick on Jaylen Brown. Because Tice goes away, Jaylen Brown sees that and says, yes, they can still throw this lob to him, and they get a dunk, and we go into overtime.
He stayed home.
Yes, and so now in that process, you see OG sneak down the baseline, and by the time he wheels, he has to wheel up from behind Gasol. So I'm going to put that, they talk about Jason Tatum, I'm going to put that on Tice.
But Jaylen Brown took the fall, so to speak, taco fall, after the game. He blamed himself. He said, the way that defense is designed, that OG is my guy. Because he's the backside of the zone. So effectively, you have to be alert. I just don't like the concept.
But Skip, think about it. If he doesn't hold Gasol, they can throw it to Gasol. Gasol can turn around and shoot a 2-point shot. So he's like, okay, I got the hold. I don't think he realized that OG had run the baseline. He's so focused on Marc Gasol. So he's his peripheral. He's not looking at the baseline, Skip. If you watch this play, watch him. He's looking. He doesn't even see because his back is turned to OG. OG starts in one corner. His back is turned. He comes all the way baseline.
Okay. That defense that they played has one hole in it, and it's way over on the backside. And it's going to require what we both agreed is like at least a 1,000,000 to 1, if not a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot pass over Taco Fall, and they pulled it off.
It's almost like, Skip, you're playing Patrick Mahomes, and you're like, he can't throw that ball over there. He on the left side. He can't throw it all the way clear across the field. He did it.
Because sometimes a zone defense has a hole in it if you can find it.
If you can find it.
And if you're good enough to exploit that hole.
Correct.
If you have a big enough arm.
And I heard OG said, hey, I don't shoot to miss. I shoot, I took the shot, felt good about it. But the pass. Skip, I mean, to get that ball over Taco Fall and to throw it clear cross court and to have it in his shooting pocket, because if it's not in his shooting pocket, he's not going to be able to get it up and get it out.
So I still believe Boston's got no shot in this series. I mean, I'm sorry, Toronto.
I agree.
There's no shot.
I agree.
Because you're missing one superstar. You're missing Kawhi Leonard.
Siakam has not been. Siakam hadn't really been good, Skip, since they've been in the bubble.
He's not that guy.
No.
He's another complimentary star to me. Listen, Kyle Lowry, he's got that dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
But he's 6 feet tall. And Van Vliet's got that dog in him, but he's about 5'11".
Yeah, he's 6 foot tall.
Okay? So they can do only so much, but in the end of these games, you need that one guy where you think, we got that guy and you don't, and they don't have Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I think we'll both agree on this. Pascal Siakam is Alvin Harper. He ain't Michael Irvin. Michael, it's amazing how look at the plays that Alvin Harper was making when Mike was there, and then he went to Tampa, and look how he looked. So it's one thing to have that dog, Skip, and they say, you know what? We're going to take you away, and you still go get those numbers.
I used to have battles with Alvin Harper over what you just said. He did not like it when I suggested what you just suggested.
But everybody saw that except him.
Thank you. If you're watching Alvin, see, I was right all along.
I watched him on tape. He's not that good. It's because that 88 is not there.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on, guys, I do have some Patriots news to get to because it seemed like it was only really a matter of time, but Cam Newton has been named the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Not only will Cam be starting in New England, but he was also